In the southwest, the Amotekun Corps has recorded a success story after rescuing 4 kidnapped victims and arresting 5 suspects linked to the abduction in Ondo State.
Today's story is one of those very serious but deeply powerful reports coming out from Ondo State. One of those stories that remind us how unpredictable life can be and why security work in Nigeria is anything but simple. As we enter this gist, make sure you like this video and subscribe so you don't miss important updates like this. What happened in Ondo State is not just another headline. It is a story about danger, teamwork, courage, loss, rescue, and the ongoing struggle to keep our roads and forests safe. And I'm here to break it down for you in the simplest, clearest way so everybody watching can understand the full picture from beginning to end. Everything started like a normal day. A group of passengers boarded a vehicle, each person traveling for their own reasons: work matters, family visits, errands, small business runs. Nothing out of the ordinary. But somewhere along a forest corridor in Ondo State, their lives took a sudden turn. A group of armed criminals who had clearly been monitoring movement along that route blocked the road and attacked the bus. Before anyone could process what was happening, the attackers forced the passengers into the forest. In that moment, fear swallowed the entire place. Imagine being on a journey 1 minute and the next you are dragged into thick bushland by armed men hiding among the trees. That is the kind of danger many travelers pray never to encounter. Unfortunately, in certain forest belts across the country, criminals have taken advantage of the environment. They attack quickly and disappear deeper into the bush before help arrives. But this time, something important happened. The community around that access reacted fast, very fast. People nearby heard gunshots and immediately raised an alarm. A distress call went out within minutes, and residents sent urgent messages to the Amotekun Corps operating in that zone. And as we go on, please like this video and subscribe, because stories like this show exactly why cooperation between citizens and local security networks is so important. Once Amotekun operatives received the call, they didn't waste a second. They mobilized and headed straight to the forest line. The terrain was thick, visibility was poor, and the attackers had the advantage of knowing the area. But still, the Amotekun team pressed forward. They moved in formation, sweeping through the bush carefully but firmly, following the direction of the gunshots and other clues left behind. Before long, they made contact with the attackers, and immediately a serious shootout began. It was one of those tense life-or-death moments where every wrong move could make the situation worse for the kidnapped victims. But the security operatives didn't retreat. They continued advancing, pushing the attackers back step by step. The criminals tried to defend their position at first, firing from behind tree trunks and thick shrubs. But the pressure from Amotekun was too strong. Eventually, the attackers began to lose ground. Some of them dropped their weapons and ran deeper into the bush. Others attempted to escape through narrow footpaths. But the operatives kept pushing until they finally reached the spot where the victims were being held. After a tense operation, 4 people were rescued: 3 women and a bus conductor. They were pulled out of the forest alive and taken to safety. At the same time, several suspects connected to the kidnapping were also arrested during the operation. Those suspects are now in custody and will face investigation. And once again, please like this video and subscribe. Your support helps us keep bringing you stories like this in a calm, responsible way. No fear-mongering, just real events explained clearly. But let's pause here and look at the human side of this story. Imagine being an ordinary traveler who suddenly finds themselves surrounded by armed men. Imagine the panic, the questions, the helplessness. Even though 4 people were rescued, what they experienced is something that leaves a mark on the mind. Trauma doesn't disappear in a day. These victims survived something extremely frightening. Sadly, not everyone made it alive. The driver of the bus, a hard-working man simply doing his job, lost his life during the initial attack. Reports say he tried to maneuver the bus to protect his passengers, but the attackers shot him. His death is a painful reminder that even in moments of crisis, some people show courage that costs them everything. We send our heartfelt thoughts to his family and hope they receive all the support they need during this difficult time. Another passenger was injured during the chaos, but thanks to the quick response of the Amotekun team, the person received immediate medical attention and is now recovering. That fast medical care makes a big difference, especially in forest-related emergencies where injuries can quickly become dangerous. And again, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Stories like this deserve to reach more people so we can all stay informed and stay alert. After rescuing the victims, the Amotekun officers didn't stop. They continued combing the forest to ensure no one else was left behind and to understand the escape routes the criminals used. Forest operations are some of the most challenging tasks security teams face. Attackers hide behind thick vegetation, use bush paths that outsiders don't know, and sometimes set traps. But this particular operation ended with the victims saved and the suspects captured. What makes this story even more powerful is what it teaches us about cooperation. When communities speak up quickly, when they hear gunshots, when they notice strange movements, when something simply doesn't feel right, security agencies can respond faster. And when the response is fast, rescue chances increase dramatically. As the investigation continues, more details will come out. Who planned the attack? Was it a one-time attempt or part of a series? How long had the attackers been studying that route? Investigators will try to answer all these questions. And yes, please like this video and subscribe so you're among the first to get updates.
Now, let's talk about the bigger issue behind all this. Across Nigeria, forest zones have increasingly become hideouts for criminals. To fix this long-term, many things need to work together. Better patrol systems, improved technology, stronger communication equipment, and more support for community-based security outfits like Amotekun. These teams know the land better than anyone else. They understand the terrain, the pathways, the villages, and the patterns of movement. With more equipment and well-trained personnel, they can do even more. But citizens also have a role to play. We shouldn't live in fear, but we must live in awareness. Avoid late-night travel on isolated routes. Use trusted transport services. Share your travel plans with family members. Pay attention to strange activity, and if you see or hear something suspicious, don't intervene, just report it. Quick information saves lives. As we continue with the gist, please remember again, like this video and subscribe. After the rescue in Ondo State, the entire community atmosphere changed. Earlier, people were frightened when gunshots echoed from the forest. But when Amotekun vehicles returned with rescued victims, the mood shifted to relief and gratitude. Residents gathered around, trying to understand what had happened, checking if any familiar faces were among those saved, and thanking the officers for their bravery. One thing that stood out was how calm and professional the Amotekun operatives remained even after the intense forest confrontation. They took time to comfort the victims, offer them water, help them sit, and check their conditions before moving them to the medical point. That kind of care matters because emotional shock is just as heavy as physical injury. Some of the victims said they were surprised rescue came so quickly. It restored a bit of hope. The suspects arrested during the operation were brought out quietly under close watch. Investigators will now question them to understand how they planned the attack and whether they are connected to a larger network. Every piece of information they provide helps security agencies improve their strategies. And again, like this video and subscribe. Updates are still coming. Drivers who frequently use that same route also reacted strongly. Many said the area has always felt risky because the forest is deep and quiet. Some pleaded for more patrols, especially in the evenings. Now that this incident has happened, local authorities may increase surveillance as the festive season approaches, when travel usually peaks.
More checkpoints, roadside inspections, and patrol units reduce the chances of attacks. What truly makes this story meaningful is the combination of bravery from every side. The security operatives who entered dangerous terrain, the victims who managed to stay calm, and the community members who spoke up quickly. When every person plays their role, lives can be saved. But we also have to face the reality. Nigerian forests are vast. They stretch for kilometers with hidden corners, narrow bush paths, and areas where there is no network. This makes it easy for criminals to hide. That is why technology, drones, motion sensors, tracking devices will play a huge role in the future of security. Many countries already use these tools to monitor forests. If Nigeria invests heavily in them, criminal hideouts will reduce drastically. And please like this video and subscribe if you are following this gist. One emotional moment that touched everyone was when the families of the rescued victims arrived at the Amotekun office. Some were crying, some were praying, some were embracing each other. When someone you love is kidnapped, minutes feel like days. So hearing that their relatives were brought out alive brought overwhelming relief. One of the rescued women kept repeating, "Thank you for coming for us." Those words reflect the impact of fast response. Of course, we cannot forget the painful part, the bus driver who died. His courage helped save others. Many Nigerians believe drivers deserve more protection on high-risk routes. With better lighting, stronger patrol systems, and emergency numbers that connect directly to responders, tragedies like this could be reduced. As we round up this gist, remember again, like this video and subscribe. It takes only a moment, but it means a lot to this channel. Zooming out, this whole event teaches us several key lessons. Community warning is powerful. Quick response saves lives. Forest terrain gives criminals an advantage, but not forever if technology improves. Travelers must stay alert. State governments must continue supporting local security networks. Imagine a future where every movement inside a forest is monitored in real time through drones and sensors. Kidnappers would have nowhere to run. That future is possible, and with your support, liking, subscribing, and staying informed, we can keep discussing stories that matter, stories that protect, and stories that bring awareness to every corner of Nigeria.